A deadly artillery strike in Russian-occupied Luhansk has killed 6 people, including 2 journalists and their driver, according to reports. Moscow claims the attack was a deliberate, high-precision strike by Ukrainian forces targeting a civilian press vehicle. The Russian Foreign Ministry identified the victims as Alexander Fedorchak, a war correspondent for Russia's Izvestia media outlet, camera operator Andrei Panov, and driver Alexander Sergely, who worked for the Zvezda television channel. Another journalist, Nikita Golden, was seriously wounded, according to reports. Maria Zarkova, a spokesperson for the Russian Foreign Ministry, condemned the attack, calling it a targeted artillery shelling by Kyiv and claiming that Ukrainian forces used high-precision MLRS munitions to strike the press vehicle. However, no independent verification of these claims has been made. Reuters reached out to Ukrainian officials for comment, but there has been no response so far. The timing of the attack is critical. It coincided with ongoing ceasefire talks between Russian and American negotiators in Saudi Arabia, raising concerns that renewed hostilities could derail diplomatic efforts. Leonid Pashchnik, the Russian-appointed governor of Luhansk, confirmed that 6 people were killed in the strike, though he did not specify the identities of the other victims. The Luhansk region has been almost entirely captured by Russian forces as part of Moscow's broader push to control Ukraine's Donbas region, one of the country's most industrialized areas. Izvestia reported that Fedorchak had been covering drone operations in Luhansk at the time of the attack. His last report, published on March 23rd, detailed Russian forces tightening their grip around Kupiansk, an area in Ukraine's Kharkiv region where Russian troops have recently advanced. Monday's attack is not an isolated incident. Earlier this year, another freelance reporter working for Izvestia was killed in Ukraine, and on the same day as the Luhansk strike, a journalist from Russia's state-run TASS news agency was injured in a Ukrainian attack on Russia's border Kursk region. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, at least 15 journalists have been killed since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Zakharova has now called on international organizations like the OSCE and the United Nations to take action in response to the latest killings. Meanwhile, Ukraine is also facing devastating attacks. On Monday, a Russian missile strike on the northeastern city of Sumy wounded at least 88 people, including 17 children, according to reports. Ukrainian officials say the attack hit residential buildings and 2 schools. Regional Governor Vladimir Artyuk credited air raid shelters with preventing further casualties, as many children had been evacuated before the missile struck. President Zelensky condemned the attack, stating that Russia continues to prolong this war and torment not only Ukraine but the entire world. He reiterated calls for strong diplomatic measures to force Moscow into peace negotiations. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andrei Panov also criticized Russia's actions, saying, and I quote, "Instead of making hollow statements about peace, Russia must stop bombing our cities and end its war on civilians." End quote. Sumy, located just 30 kilometers from the Russian border, has been a frequent target of drone and missile attacks since the war began. Monday's strike occurred while Russia and US officials were meeting to discuss a possible ceasefire, underscoring the continued challenges to diplomatic efforts. As tensions escalate, the fate of ceasefire negotiations remains uncertain. Will diplomacy hold, or will the conflict continue to spiral? Stay tuned for further updates.